Hello, and welcome to Color Commentary. I'm TJ, and this week I'll be talking about Marvel's What If Episode 3. What if the Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Heroes, never formed? This episode was very interesting. I thought that it had a mystery going on that I couldn't figure it out, and that kept me really engaged into what was happening in this episode. So I appreciate the mystery, the detective type of thing they had going on, trying to figure out what happened and everything. I like that. That was the overall view, non-spoiler. Now we're going into spoilers. Spoilers. Okay. Ah, what if the Avengers didn't form? Oh my God, it would be messed up, effed up, real bad. That's all. That's what I'm gonna say to that. Because the episode started off with Uatu the Watcher talking about, giving you a history of the Marvel Universe that we know, um, showing you how, the Avengers formed, talking about Incredible Hulk and Iron Man and Thor and everybody, all the Avengers, and how they formed a team to save the world when it really needed it. And then the what if of what if that team never formed. Well, well, here's what happened. First off, they went. They started it off in that Fury Nick Fury's Big Week, which covered basically the first three Marvel movies. Well, not the first three. It was Iron Man 3, I believe. Uh, Captain America. You know what? I know. Yeah, I know it was Thor's first movie. Three movies basically in the first phase one that they covered, and that all happened in the first week that Fury was going around trying to put the team together. So what he did was he went to go recruit Iron Man like he did before, and Iron Man was sitting in the donut. They called him down because he still had the palladium poisoning going on, so they was giving him the cure for that, and Widow stuck him in the neck like she did in the movie. And but this time Tony died. He killed over and died. And then so they had to take Widow into custody because they like, well, you killed her. But Fury, of course, didn't believe that she did. So, he sent her on a secret mission to find out who did it. And she was in custody and she completely beat the crap out the dudes in the truck. I mean, she whooped them up. She whooped them bad. And escaped so she could find out who's killing people, who killed Tony. While she's off on her mission to find that out, we get to where Coulson, yay, Coulson, he's looking, he found the hammer, like they did at the end of, I believe that was Iron Man 2 or 3, and at the beginning of Thor, when it was in the desert, the hammer was sitting in the desert, the government made the facility around it, and Thor showed up to come and pick up his hammer after he got exiled from Asgard. Well, that kind of played out the same. Coulson made a few jokes about how gorgeous Thor's hair was, and Clint Barton, aka Hawkeye, confirmed it. Like, yeah, he does have beautiful hair. Because remember, he was up in the thing in the air in the crate, finna shoot him. Waiting on orders, to shoot him. And so, Fury was like, no, let's see what happened. But then the lightning struck, and the arrow flew, and it hit Thor in the chest, and he was dead. Thor was dead. So now we got two. Iron Man and Thor dead. So of course they put Hawkeye, lock him up, because they're like, well, your arrow killed him. You say you didn't do it, but how do we know that? So they lock him up, and then when Fury goes into the cell to talk to him about the situation, because he didn't believe that he would actually do that, he's dead. Now we got three in the first 5 minutes, three Avengers dead. I was in after that. I'm like, at first, when I killed Iron Man, I'm like, that's different. Okay. Then when they shot Thor, I'm like, wait, what? And now, Hawkeye dead? Oh, wow. And then, of course, Fury had to make that call to Widow to tell her that Fury was dead. I mean, that Hawkeye was dead. And she was not thrilled about that. She had went to the university in Virginia where Hulk was hiding out with Betty Ross, his girlfriend. Oh, that was the other movie, the Hulk movie, The Incredible Hulk, yes. Yeah, and they switched out with the animation for Mark Ruffalo. Yes, that movie is a part of the MCU. And so, Betty helped her figure out that something was shot out of the thing and that the medicine never actually went into Tony. Something else went in him, and lo and behold, they was getting chased. So Betty's father, General Ross, we all know him, he's an a-hole, showed up, of course, to try to take in the Hulk, and that didn't go so well. Because Hulk started tearing up the tanks and beating the crap out of them because they had shot him, which made him turn into the Hulk in the first place. And yeah, he started tearing them up, and then all of a sudden, he just starts blowing up like a balloon, and then he pops, he burst. It was gross, disgusting, and awesome all at the same time. I was like, wow. So now, the Incredible Hulk, dead. Dead. Yes, he's dead. I was like, wow. Okay. So that was a shocker. So Widow went to go find out some more information. She went to the library, looked up some stuff on the computer. She found out that Coulson's password for S.H.I.E.L.D. was Steve, I heart Steve, which was hilarious. He was a Captain America fanboy forever. That was hilarious, but it's Coulson. What do you expect? Then she found out that somebody had been in the files just a couple days ago. Somebody who was dead, just 2 weeks ago had accessed the files. This person that was dead was apparently Hope Van Dyne, yes, aka the Wasp. So immediately, that was the immediate thought in my head was, well, there's your what if. What if Hope Van Dyne had joined S.H.I.E.L.D. and died? What would be the result of that? Well, somebody started attacking Widow and killed her, but she was able to get a voicemail to Fury to tell him that, it's all about hope. Hope is the key, basically. Hope. It's all about hope. So, Fury figured it out. He pulled out the pager that he got from Captain Marvel, and he was going to beep it, but he didn't. He went with the Hope thing that Widow had just told him on his voicemail. And so he went to Hope Van Dyne's grave, and who shows up? Hank Pym in the yellow jacket costume. I was like, oh my God. So Hank is the one killing everybody? Hank Pym? I was like, wow. And then he did explain to Fury, yeah, he used one of those embiggening discs on Hulk and blew his heart up, and that's how he exploded him. He went in Hawkeye's ear, did something to his brain, clearly. Probably gave him an aneurysm, killed him. He shot himself into Iron Man's neck. That's why the medicine didn't go in there, and killed him. And he hit Hawkeye's hand when he was holding the arrow and the bow, and that's how he ended up releasing it to kill Thor. And that's how he ended up dying. I was like, wow. And then, of course, he had just attacked and killed the Widow, so yeah, she was gone. So I was like, wow, this is crazy, and Fury's name is on that list. Captain Marvel's name is on that list, of potential people for the Avengers. So, of course he came to take out the head dude, but, Fury's smart. He went to Loki, who showed up, mind you, after they had figured out that Thor had been killed. He showed up with all the armies of Asgard. The Warriors 3, Sif was there, and the Casket of Ancient Winners, and the Destroyer armor. I'm like, he came to wreck shop for real for Thor. Like, you killed my brother, I'm taking you out. So, Fury, talked to him for a moment. They had a spat for a moment, and, Loki kind of used the Casket of Winners to, do some things. But, Fury like, look, the person who killed your brother also killed my people. We need to work together. So, in working together, Fury, made a plan with Loki to get Hank. And it worked. He, let Loki pretend to be him. They did some fighting. He knocked, Hank all around. It didn't matter if he shrunk or grew. It didn't matter. It didn't make a difference. Loki whooped him down real good and laughed about it. And yeah, it was a really funny fight. In the end, Fury was willing to go ahead and turn Hank over to Asgard so they could take him, for killing Thor. And then Loki said, well, you know what? I think I'm going to stay. Goes to the United Nations, tells the world that he's taking over the planet and that we all deserve to be slaves and yada, 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 like he do every time that he come to Earth and try to take over some crap. It's so sad. Loki, get a life, bro. I'm glad that Loki has changed now. You got to see what Loki series, what I know what I'm talking about. But this particular Loki, yeah, he didn't get that redemption, and yeah, he's still trying to conquer everything in sight. So his idea was to conquer the Earth. And so by this point, though, it's Friday, because it started off on a Monday. Now it's Friday, and Nick is wiping off Cap's shield in the ice because he's going to go ahead and unthaw Cap. And he apparently had used the pager because who shows up at the end but good old Captain Marvel. Oh yeah, she like, who do I have to fight? What's going on, Fury? Let's do it. It was good. I was like, this is awesome. I would have never have figured out that it was Hank killing everybody because I'm like, who is killing the Avengers? I kept trying to think of villains, and I'm like, who could be doing it? And why can't I see them? And what is going on? You know, it was awesome. This episode was really good. I don't know what the next one's gonna be, but I can't wait. This is just this show is so great. This show is so great. The what ifs are good. I'm starting to adjust to this animation a little bit. You know, it's still very Disney-y, you know, so kind of hard to take it seriously when they do the action, especially. But they do very good choreographed action scenes, and the writing is pretty decent. And it's good to see twists on scenes that we know from previous movies in the MCU, and how drastically they could be changed from the smallest thing. Yeah, this show is great. I'm liking it. Can't wait to see what episode 4 has to bring. Can't wait to be back with you guys next week to discuss it. Um, Please subscribe, share, like down below, and comment if you want to keep talking about it. By all means, I am up for discussion. So, I will see you guys next week for episode 4 of What If. And be happy and safe. See you then.